decided to create a series of videos based on questions that players ask me during games, during training, that kind of thing, during video sessions and that type of stuff. So I'm going to start with one that came from this past weekend. We have a new high school girls team that had only had a couple training sessions before they started playing games. It's a brand new group of players that have just come together. And we were playing in a 4-3-3, and it was huge. We had this wide open space, both in and out of possession. We were too open out of possession, and in possession we were too far apart from each other to support each other. So on the final day of the tournament we were in, we decided to change our formation a little bit. We put 2 9s up there, so there was always someone there to support the 9 that had been kind of stranded in the days before. And we put a diamond of players in the midfield. We pinched our 7 and 11 in and just allowed them to be closer to each other. Again, just for support and out of possession to be more compact and a little bit more difficult to get through. And this question came from one of the players that said, should the 9 or 10 have been dropping more into defense? And that was the question. That was the way she worded it. That's the exact wording there. These questions can be pretty broad at times. This is a long answer to a question. First of all, if there's anyone ahead of you on the field, they are going. If you're a midfielder and they're forward stationed ahead of you, they're going to tell you you need to get up. If you're a midfielder and there are defenders behind you or a goalkeeper behind you, they're going to tell you at some point in the game you need to come back. Any position on the field that has people ahead of them, you're going to hear you need to get up. Any position on the field that has players behind them, you're going to hear you need to come back. So you're going to always hear that. That's just the way it is for all players as long as I've been playing and coaching. This question, though, is, as I said, it's kind of a big question. And you have to think about these big picture issues. Are we winning? That's going to impact whether or not you're coming back and how far. Are we losing? How much time is left? What are our goals for the day? What are we trying to achieve? What are we working on that day? There's some things that come up in the moment. Are we numbers up? Are we numbers down? Which opponent of ours is progressing? If I'm a 10 and their center back is dribbling out of the back, then I probably need to be involved in helping us defend. If it's a striker on their team and she's dribbling into a 1 versus 3, I ask that question right there. Is their progression promising? If they're dribbling into something that's going to fall apart, I probably don't need to come back too far. And it looks like we're going to win it. I need to start finding a place, a little pocket of space I can sit in so I can then become available as we do win it. So are our teammates in position? Maybe we just had players make runs out of the back and maybe it was bad timing. Maybe they were unlucky. Maybe it was a bad decision and we've lost possession. I'm going to have to come back a little bit further. All kinds of different things that are going on. The weather that day, anything can go into this answer. So I want you to think a little bit more about the situations. Do we have enough people back? Do we need more people back? Are people in positions in the right positions? Is their progression, is our opponent's progression promising? So just think about those kind of things and go a little bit deeper into that thought process.